Welcome everyone to the class of complex numbers. Here the following topics will be covered. What is a complex number? It is a number of the form a plus ib where a, b are real numbers and I equals root of -1 is called a complex number. Here a is the real part and b is the imaginary part of the complex number. I is read as iota. A complex number is usually represented by z. Z equal to a plus ib. There are various algebraic operations with a complex number like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Addition, you will be adding the real parts together. A plus c plus I into b plus b. So real and imaginary parts are added separately. Similarly in subtraction, multiplication, etc. Next is modulus of a complex number. If z equal to a plus ib, mod z is given by root of a square plus b square. And two properties of it are mod z1 z2 equals mod z1 into mod z2. Also mod z1 by z2 equal to mod z1 divided by mod z2, provided mod z2 is not equal to 0. Next is conjugate of a complex number. If z equal to a plus ib, then z bar equal to a minus ib. It is called the conjugate of z. It has certain properties. The notable ones are z bar is equal to z and also z into z bar equal to mod z square. Next we are going to consider the powers of I raised to 1 equal to I. Then I square will be minus 1 because I is equal to root of minus 1. So I square will be root of minus 1 into root of minus 1, that is equal to minus 1. I cube will be minus I because I cube can be written as I square into I. While we saw previously I square is equal to minus 1, so I cube will be minus I. And I raised to 4 will be I square square, which is equal to 1. So you have to by heart what all things which are put in boxes. Here you have to consider an important thing. If I to the power of 4, if it is multiples of 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, etc., the answer will be 1. Similarly, I raised to 256. 256 is a multiple of 4. You can find it easily by this method. Divide that number by 4. It leaves the remainder 0. So your answer will be 1. Because I raised to 256 can be replaced with I raised to 4, which is equal to 1 by this equation. Next is I raised to 2023, which is equal to I cube, because 2023 when divided by 4 leaves the remainder 3. So it can be replaced as I cube, which is equal to minus I by this relation. So whatever bigger the number is, you can use this method of dividing by 4 to reduce it. This is a question. I raised to 2012 plus I raised to 2013 plus I raised to 2014 plus I raised to 2015. In this question, if you divide by 4, 2012 is completely divisible. So it is I raised to 4, 1. Then 2013 will leave a remainder 1. 14 leave a remainder 2. 15 will leave a remainder 3. So the answer is 1 plus I minus 1 minus I or 0. Next is a question. The I to the power of 592. So seeing it is a very big number, but you can use the same concept here also. Here again, considering the numerator and denominator, you can see that the numerators are all 10 times greater than, not 10 times, 582 plus 10 is 592. So you can take I raised to 10 outside in the numerator. So the remaining will be I raised to 582 plus I raised to 580 plus etc. The numerator and the denominator gets cancelled. The remaining is I raised to 10 minus 1. Now what is I raised to 10? It can be easily simplified by dividing with 4. The remainder is 2. So I raised to 10 can be replaced with I square equal to minus 1 equal to minus 2. So the answer is option A. Consider this question. I raised to 18 plus 1 by I raised to 25 the whole cube. The same technique can be applied here. 18 when divided by 4 leaves remainder 2, so it will be I square. 25 when divided by 4 leaves the remainder 1, so 1 by I raised to 1. Now here it is 1 by I, so you have to multiply it with its conjugate, that is I's conjugate is minus I, so minus I in the numerator and minus I in the denominator. Your answer will be minus I. So this big expression has reduced to minus 1 minus I the whole cube. You can use the formula of A minus B the whole cube to further simplify it, and finally you will be obtaining an answer of 2 minus 2I. This is a very simple question. Sigma k equal to 0 to 100 I raised to k equal to x plus iy, when the values of x and y. So you have to find here x and y. So you have to open up this sigma. So consider x plus iy equal to I raised to 0 plus I raised to 1 plus I square plus I cube plus I raised to 4 plus etc. I raised to 100, which is equal to I raised to 0 is 1 plus I square plus I cube. It goes like that. You can see 1 plus I minus 1 minus I plus 1. Again this sequence repeats. This all will get cancelled. So the only remaining one is this 1 plus 0I. So the answer is x equal to 1 and imaginary part y equal to 0. Consider this question. X plus iy into 2 minus 3i is equal to 4 plus I. Then what is the value of x and y? So here you have to find out x and y. So you can write the expression in terms of x plus iy. X plus iy is equal to 4 plus I by 2 minus 3i. If you are getting an expression of this fractional form, you have to multiply it with its conjugate. So into 2 plus 3i divided by 2 plus 3i. The answer is this one. 5 by 13 plus 14 by 13i. Here a plus ib into a minus ib, if you are multiplying that, a square minus I square b square will come. I square is minus 1, so you can easily replace it as a square plus b square, or z into z bar equal to mod z square. This is a key question. If z1 equal to 2 plus 3i and z2 equal to 3 plus 2i, then mod z1 plus z2. Easily you can add z1 and z2 and find its modulus. The answer is 5 root 2. Here 1 minus I alpha by 1 plus I alpha equal to a plus ib. We have to find out a square plus b square. So if we multiply it with the conjugate, normally in case of fraction we used to multiply it with conjugate, but if we multiply it with conjugate here, it will become complicated and we have to find out only a square plus b square. So the immediate solution is you can find out a minus ib. A minus ib will be 1 plus I alpha by 1 minus I alpha. Then you multiply both. A minus ib will be this one. Multiplying, you will be obtaining a square plus b square. However, all the terms get cancelled and the answer is 1. Next is square root types problems. So square root of 7 plus 24i. To find the square root, you must have studied in plus 1. One lengthy method is there. But here we can use a shortcut method. Two formulas you have to by heart. So if z equal to x plus iy, then the square root of z is given by plus or minus root of mod z plus x by 2 plus I into root of mod z minus x by 2 if y greater than 0. So this first equation comes when y greater than 0. That means if the imaginary part is positive. And the second equation comes when the imaginary part is negative, y less than 0. So the only difference between these two equations is this minus. If y is less than 0, it is minus obviously. So here it becomes minus. So our question is root of 7 plus 24i. Here you can easily find mod z, root of 7 square plus 24 square equal to 25. And you substitute the value of x and mod z here. Finally you will be obtaining plus or minus 4 plus i3 is the square root. There is an alternative method, however. You can try if you forget this formula. That is, you have to try with every options. In every options, square root of 7 plus 24i is here. That means that when you square this option, you should obtain 7 plus 24i. So our answer we obtained was 4 plus i3 plus or minus. So when you square that one, you will be obtaining 7 plus 24i. So clearly this is a square root. The next question is 8 minus 59. As the formula we just studied now, the second formula we have to apply here because here it is minus. On substituting mod z and x values, you will be obtaining this as the square root. Next, if the conjugate of a complex number z is 1 by I minus 1, then z is. So the conjugate is given as 1 by I minus 1. So that is z bar. So in order to find z, you can use z equal to z bar bar. Z bar equal to 1 by I minus 1. You have to convert it into a suitable format. So you are multiplying with its conjugate. So I minus 1 is replaced as minus 1 plus I. So its conjugate will be plus I has to be replaced with minus I. So minus 1 minus I, minus 1 minus I. The answer will be minus 1 by 2 into 1 plus I. So z will be the conjugate of this, that is minus 1 by 2 into 1 minus I, and it is equal to, on simplification, again you have to multiply with the conjugate. The answer is minus 1 by 1 plus I. Multiplicative inverse of z equal to 3 minus 2i. So in order to find the multiplicative inverse, z inverse is called the multiplicative inverse. It is given by 1 by z equal to z bar by mod z square. This formula is obtained from this one. We already studied a plus ib into a minus ib equal to a square minus I square b square equal to a square plus b square. From this, a plus ib is z, a minus ib is z bar equal to mod z square. So from this equation, 1 by z equal to z bar by mod z square. So z inverse equal to z bar by mod z square. So to find the multiplicative inverse of this question, you can directly apply z bar by mod z square. It is 3 plus 2i by 13. If you forget this formula also, you can do z inverse equal to 1 by z. So 1 by 3 minus 2i will be the multiplicative inverse. Multiply it with its conjugate in the numerator and denominator. The answer is this one. For all complex numbers z of the form 1 plus I alpha, alpha an element of R, z square equal to x plus iy. Then which of the following equations is correct? So in this type of questions, you can find out the value of x and y and substitute in these equations to get the answer. So z square you can find out, z square is given, it is x plus iy equal to 1 plus I alpha the whole square. On using the formula a plus b the whole square, expanding, you will be obtaining as 1 minus alpha square plus 2i alpha. So this is the real part and this is the imaginary part. X equal to 1 minus alpha square, y equal to 2 alpha. Now you obtain the values of x and y. You can consider the options. First you consider option A. It is given as y square minus 4x plus 2 equal to 0. So here y square minus 4x plus 2 equal to, you substitute this value, obtain the y and x here. You are obtaining it as 8 alpha square minus 2, that is not equal to 0. So this option is not correct. Next you go for option B. Here it is y square plus 4x minus 4 equal to 0. Substitute for y and x. Finally you are obtaining it as 0. So the option B will be the correct option, that is y square plus 4x minus 4 equal to 0. Next is a concept of Euler form or exponential form. Here the z equal to x plus iy is represented as r into cos theta plus I sin theta, or it is equal to r e raised to I theta. E raised to I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. Then e raised to minus I theta will be cos theta minus I sin theta. On equating 1 and 2, you will be obtaining cos theta and sin theta as this one. This is also important. E raised to I theta the whole raised to n equal to e raised to I n theta equal to cos n theta plus I sin n theta. If it is minus n, cos n theta minus I sin n theta. This is an easy question. The real part of e raised to 3 plus 4i into x. You can expand it using a raised to m into n first. So it is a raised to m into a raised to n is equal to a raised to m plus n. So equal to e raised to 3x into e raised to I 4x is cos theta plus I sin theta. Separating the real and imaginary part, the real part is e raised to 3x into cos 4x. Z equal to r e raised to I theta is given, then mod e raised to I z. So firstly you find out I z here equal to IR e raised to I theta equal to IR into e raised to I theta. You know the result already. Substitute, obtained as IR cos theta minus r sin theta. Now e raised to I z is required in the question. So e raised to IR cos theta minus r sin theta equal to, you obtain this one. Now you have to find the mode of e raised to I z. So you already know mod z1 into z2 equal to mod of z1 into mod of z2. So mod of e raised to minus r sin theta into mod of e raised to IR cos theta. Mod of e raised to minus r sin theta is easily root of this one, that is the same as e raised to minus r sin theta. Mod of e raised to IR cos theta, firstly you expand it using the Euler form, cos r cos theta plus I r sin r cos theta, that is equal to root of cos square plus sin square. You already know the result, cos square x plus sin square x equal to 1. So the answer is 1. And mod of e raised to I z is therefore e raised to minus r sin theta. Next concept is the polar form of a complex number. So in considering the polar form, consider an xy plane. In this xy plane, you are representing the real part and imaginary part as x and y. Then its hypotenuse is given by r equal to mod z equal to root of x square plus y square. So r equal to mod z equal to root of x square plus y square is equal to the modulus of the number z, and theta, that is given by tan theta equal to opposite by adjacent y by x, indicates theta equal to argument of z, otherwise it is called amplitude, equal to tan inverse y by x. So in some of the questions you will be asked to convert it into modulus amplitude form. It is nothing but this polar form, modulus given by r and the amplitude or argument given by theta. So in this question the amplitude is asked of this particular expression. So sin pi by 5 plus I into 1 minus cos pi by 5. So in order to apply theta equal to tan inverse y by x, you have to convert it into a suitable form. Then only you can simplify it. So you are applying here the formula sin 2a is equal to 2 sin a cos a. So sin pi by 5 equals 2 sin pi by 10 cos pi by 10. 1 minus cos 2a is replaced with 2 sin square a. So 2 sin square pi by 10. So the amplitude is easily represented as tan inverse y by x sin pi by 10 by cos pi by 10. You will be obtaining tan pi by 10. So tan inverse tan theta equal to theta. The answer is pi by 10. Next concept is principal value of the argument. It is a unique value of the theta which lies between minus pi and pi. So in order to find the working rule of the principal argument, the tan alpha is given by mod y by x, where alpha is a positive acute angle. Now you have to consider the value of this alpha in 4 quadrants. 1, 2, 3, 4 quadrants as we know. First, x greater than 0, y greater than 0. That is in quadrant 1. If z is in the quadrant 1, then the argument of z is given by alpha itself. Second case, x less than 0, y greater than 0. That is quadrant 2. The argument of z is given by pi minus alpha. If it is in the third quadrant, x less than 0, y also less than 0, then argument equals alpha minus pi. If it is x greater than 0, y less than 0, fourth quadrant, argument equal to minus alpha. And similarly, this you can understand if y equal to 0 and x greater than 0, if you find out tan alpha equal to y by x, it will be 0 and tan 0 equal to 0. So these are the 4 properties considering that one. For this question, z equal to root 3 minus I, the principal value of argument z is. So argument you have to find out. So that is tan theta equals y by x equals 1 by root 3, or theta equals tan inverse 1 by root 3, 30 degree, pi by 6. In this particular question, z equals root 3 minus I, that is 1 comma minus 1. It comes in the fourth quadrant. So in this particular quadrant, the answer is minus alpha. So pi by 6 will be replaced with a minus pi by 6. So the answer is minus pi by 6 since z lies in the fourth quadrant. Now consider another case where z equal to minus 1 minus I. Here tan theta equals y by x, so theta will be pi by 4. So what will be argument of z? Here it is alpha minus pi. So pi by 4 minus pi minus 3 pi by 4. Next question, sin pi by 5 plus I cos pi by 5 the whole raised to 5. So this is not the Euler form. Euler form is cos theta plus I sin theta. Then only you can apply the formula of cos theta plus I sin theta the whole raised to n. So you have to first convert it into that form. So in order to convert sine into cos, you can apply cos 90 minus theta. So sin pi by 5 can be rewritten as cos pi by 2 minus pi by 5. Similarly, cos pi by 5 by sin pi by 2 minus pi by 5. It will reduce to this one. So cos theta plus I sin theta the whole raised to n equal to cos n theta plus I sin theta. Finally, you will be obtaining cos 3 pi by 2, that is cos 270, 0, sin 270 minus 1. The answer is minus I. So this is the chart representing the sine and cosine tan values etc. for different degrees. Next is cube root of unity. So the root of the equation x cube minus 1 equal to 0 are called the cube roots of unity. The cube roots are given by x equal to 1 minus 1 plus root 3i by 2 minus 1 minus root 3i by 2. They are called 1 omega and omega square respectively. So the properties are that 1 plus omega square equal to 0, omega cube is equal to 1. These are the two important properties which we have to consider while doing problems. So in this particular question, the cube roots are given as 1 omega square. Then you are asked to find the equation of the roots. Then the roots of the equation x minus 1 the whole cube plus 8 equal to 0 are. So x minus 1 the whole cube is equal to minus 8, or x minus 1 equals cube root of minus 8 equals minus 2 into 1 raised to 1 by 3. So 1 raised to 1 by 3 is cube root of unity. You can equate it to 1 omega and omega square. So x minus 1 equal to minus 2, or minus 2 into omega or minus 2 into omega square. This implies x equal to minus 2 plus 1 minus 1 or 1 minus 2 omega or 1 minus 2 omega square. This is also a similar question based on that. So if alpha beta are imaginary cube roots of unity, that is they represent omega and omega square. So you have to find out this value of this expression. It is given by alpha is replaced with omega, beta is replaced with omega square, and you will be obtaining omega raised to 4 plus omega raised to 56 plus 1 by omega cube equal to this one. Omega raised to 4 is replaced with omega cube into omega. So omega cube is 1. Similarly, omega raised to 56 can be replaced like this one. And finally, you will be obtaining as 0. This is also a similar question. 3 consecutive values 99, 100, 101. You know 99 is divided by 3, so it can be replaced with omega cube. Next is omega cube into omega, omega raised to 100. Omega raised to 101 can be written like this. So again it is 1 plus omega square form, or answer is 0. Now considering the Argand plane in which we represent a circle with the center having the radius, with the center at z0 and a radius r for any point P on this circle, Cp is represented by r. So the equation of this circle is represented as mod z minus z0 equal to r. Z0 is the center of the circle. So r is a positive real number, and here there are two conditions. If mod z minus z0 less than r, it represents the region inside the circle, and if it is greater than r, it represents the region outside the circle. So find the center and radius of these circles. Mod of z minus 2 plus 3i equal to 5. So it is of this form clearly. So the center is at 2, 3 and radius equal to 5. Next question, mod of z plus 3 minus 2i equal to 4. So center is minus 3, 2 and radius equal to 4. Then mod z equal to 5. Here there are no real and imaginary part, or you can say the center is at the origin and the radius equals 5. Then let z equal to x plus iy be a complex number such that mod z up plus I equals 2. Then the locus of z is a circle whose center and radius are. You can easily find it out here. Mod z plus I equal to 2. That means the real part is 0, or x equal to 0 and y is equal to minus 1. So center is at 0, minus 1 and the radius is at 2. So the answer is option A. So all the best for your exams and thank you.